we've just arrived at the Backline Studios in Auckland Park. We're about to meet up with producer and musician Louise Eksteen as she talks music, but also shows us how to produce rocking music with the use of the latest app on a tablet. Louise, what's happening?
Hey, man. Welcome.
So, this is where all the magic music happens,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
Okay, fabulous. Shall we go in?
Yes. Let's go.
Well, no doubt that technology has really changed the way that we rock and roll to music. We have a woman that is producer, musician herself, and sound engineer. Also owns her own production company called The Backline, and one of SA's few female producers rocking. Louise Eksteen, do you care to tell us a little bit more about the woman behind all of that?
Sure thing. I've been making music since I was very young. I've always played around in digital studios, recording my own stuff. And that just sort of exploded into a whole new world. I started working on movie scores. I collaborated with many different people. I collaborated with people overseas. Basically, I've done as much as I can in the scene and tried everything.
Louise, how have you found technology to change the way that music is produced today?
Well, it's actually made things a lot easier, obviously. There are so many bedroom producers out there. Everyone now has a chance to make music. I mean, when you think about it, it's not that much different to the way things used to be. Back in the day, someone grabbed a guitar and he made his own music. Nowadays, the instruments have changed. For producers, their laptops or computers are their new instruments. So it's just made it a lot easier for people who don't play instruments to make music. But I see having a laptop or a machine to help you make music as a new sort of instrument.
So what you're saying particularly, it's also changed the way that arrangement is done. So, before you'd have a demo tape, you go to a producer or someone that's interested in your sound, and it's kind of very minimal. Now you can go with more of what you want to someone, and they maybe just have to add in the bells and whistles.
Yes, sometimes, well, most of the time people actually complete songs already, and they try and cut out the external producer completely. So they try and produce the tracks by themselves, maybe send them away to have them mixed and mastered, and then they just release it independently. Back in the day, you would have to work with a producer, and they would help you with arrangements, and they would give you the ideas. Some people still do that, especially the record companies. They still give you a producer to help you with fine-tuning your music.
Yeah.
So most people just write what they want to nowadays and finish it up until the end.
We've seen bands like Gorillaz produce an entire album on an iPad, pretty much, which leads us to virtual bands, virtual musicians. How do you think that that's changing the way we consume music?
I don't think it necessarily changes the way we consume music. I think it just means that there are more options available. We now have virtual entities that make music, which is, Gorillaz, for example, is a bit more of a conceptual thing. There's a virtual girl in Japan, and she was created by Yamaha. And it's mainly to sell one of their synthesizers. And her voice is not human, it's entirely made up of synthesizers. So it's Yamaha selling this product of theirs. She's called Vocaloid, or Miku Hatsune. It's very cheesy Japanese pop stuff, but it is still very entertaining. Like I said, it just gives us different options. We now have these capabilities to create these characters, and the people out there will just see it as another band. They just see it as, oh yeah, love this real band, but that virtual band is blowing my mind. So it had to happen.
Whatever floats your boat, there are options now.
Yes.
Exactly. We've seen distribution change a lot. I mean, with something like iTunes, you can toss the album cover to the side, you save costs on printing. What do you think that has in store for the future?
I think everyone will just embrace that. I mean, getting rid of those costs, musicians aren't extremely rich people either, so everyone will definitely go for the online route. Sometimes we will print a few albums just to sell at gigs as a special thing, and it's completely removed from that nowadays. Everyone's rather going for the cheaper option, and that is to distribute online.
Okay, Louise, so we've pretty much been two talking heads. We've thrown around buzzwords like virtual bands, virtual musicians. I think it's time for us to put all of this into practice, grab one of those apps and start a band.
I'm glad our talk put you in the mood.
Totally put you in the mood. Let's go.
Let's do it. If you use an iPad, the best app to use would be GarageBand because it's made for Mac. It's very stable, very cool, very user-friendly. But if I'm using Android, so I am going to show you two apps that I have here. Both are free. First up is Walkband. Walkband is not that stable, but it gives you a different sort of view from the other app that I'll show you now, which is Pocket Band. It allows you to either play in drums. You also have two different views here. Where is it? So there you have your entire drum kit. So you can literally go and play it all in. You can hear, it's a little bit slow, so recording it in, you can actually just record it in here. There are different options there. But recording it in makes it a little bit slow. So I prefer programming in beats, so it just makes it a bit easier. So the app that I do want to show you is Pocket Band. Pocket Band is a little bit more stable because it allows you to save as you go, which means you're not running all of the instruments in your RAM the whole time, and it actually gets stored, and then you can move on and do a lot more. Let's make a new song.
Yes.
Let's add a device. Let's go for some drums. Okay. Let's go edit those. Here you have all of the drums on the side. You actually have two different kick drums, so let's just go for this one. Let's get some snare in there also. And yeah, that's basically how you make a beat. Let's get some shaker in there. Every time you've made something, you get to save it, and then it gets stored, and you just get playback once it's saved, and there's no lag whatsoever.
So for today, what kind of feel are we going for?
I was thinking dancey.
Okay.
A little bit of a electro vibe. Let's get
Feeling a little bit of a Mexican vibe.
Next up, we're going to add some bass. So basically, when you want to make a melody, you just literally put in the notes like this. This is your keyboard on the side, so you have all of your different notes there. You'll hear that's high, that's low. So basically, you just add your notes up and down the screen like this, and the pattern plays like that. For Pocket Band, you need to create a profile, and the whole community uploads their songs to the Pocket Band page. So everyone can hear your track, you can get feedback on there.
So it's a little bit of a MySpace.
Yes, a little bit, yeah.
Okay. Yes, I'm starting to feel it, Louise. I'm starting to feel a techno groove. I think it would work out perfectly with my robot. Yeah.
Okay, so you're happy with that? Cool. So let's do some vocals. Normally we can record vocals on here, but I actually want us to record vocals on one of my microphones.
Okay.
My microphone on my tablet isn't that great. We'll just do it old school on the laptop.
So we're merging old school, new school, kicking it on the good old microphone.
Yes.
And then we're gonna basically start a band.
So where should we start?
Maybe like a band name for inspiration that would help, and then we go into like the lyrics. I don't know. I was thinking something like Lady Edge and the Eksteen.
Okay.
Yeah. What?
Let's do it.
Fabulous. Okay. Onto lyrics.
Okay, so I'm just gonna start it from the top, and then you cue me. I'll sing with. Okay.
Deal. Okay. We're just ladies on the edge. The edge. The edge. The edge. Yeah. I think we have a hit, people. We have a hit on our hands. And now for the grand finale, Lady Edge and the Eksteen. Hit! We're just ladies on the edge. We started a band, baby. Well, from hyper cheesy to the geeks of hypertext. Over to you, boys. We need to stop with this misbehavior.